It's about to go down. You're about to be learning your first web development lesson. Now you might be asking yourself, why is he wearing sunglasses? The answer is, I don't know. I might think that makes me cooler. Does it? Probably not, but here they are. The second thing you might be asking yourself is, what are we learning? We're going to be learning about HTML tags. That is the basic HTML, and that's what you see on a web page gets there through HTML. HTML is what you see on this web pages. So we're going to be learning how to add text, images, and links to a web page. That's the goal of today. So let me just start off with this. You should be looking at this starter code. This is the basics, bare bones, what makes a website. Now you'll see here, if I were to run this code, nothing pops up because we haven't added anything there. This is basically the setup there. It'll always be there. You don't have to memorize this. Like every time you open a new REPL, this will be there for you. But just so you know, let's just go over what's already there. The first thing is here where it says Doctype Html. You could actually delete this and your code would still work with most modern browsers, but it's best practice because when you go to a web page, what happens is that your computer sends a request for that web page out on a server. And what that server does is it sends back a bunch of documents. It could send HTML documents, but it could just send JavaScript, an image, all sorts of stuff. So your computer knows the kind of file that it is. You're saying right here, this is an HTML file. So it's just setting that up. Now right under that, you have these HTML tags, which are basically just telling the computer, here's where the HTML of this web page is. Like I said, you could delete those nowadays, but you put it there, it's best practice. Now, here's what we do need. There's a head tag and there's a body tag. All right, these two tags are very important. The head tag is where you put all the behind the scenes stuff. This is like your JavaScript, your CSS files, other sorts of background information that your website needs to actually run and work. These are things that users will never see. Like you don't see the JavaScript that makes a website work. We put it there, we link it there, we put that all up there in the head. And then things we want our user to see, we put it in the body. And a good way to think about that, just so you know, is that the head, like what's going on inside of my head right now, you have no idea. Like I'm going to think something absolutely terrible, and you tell me what it is. You have no idea, right? It was inside of my head. Just like your website. The head stuff, no one knows what, the users don't need to see that, and you don't need to know what I just thought. Inside the body, that's where we put the things that we want our users to see. So just like how you can see my hands, my face, my hair, all those things, that's where we put the actual web page elements, and that's what we're going to start by doing now. The first thing we're going to learn is something called an H1 tag. Now when I say tag, most tags have an opening and closing, and then you put the content inside of a tag. All right, and you see these little, I don't even know, those carrots? Like those are tags, right? So this is a body tag, this is a head tag. We are going to make an H1 tag. You do it like this. You say H1, okay? That's the opening tag. And to close the tag, you do the same thing, but you put this slash here. And, oops, and that's an H1 tag. Just so you know what it stands for, it stands for header. Header 1, biggest header that you can make. So I would say just in between the tags is where we're going to add our content. And I'll say this. This is large text. Okay? So you see I have my tags. Opening tag, closing tag. Remember the closing has that little slash there. And I put the content in between. If I press run, you see? It pops up. We're coding. The content pops up. So this is large text. That's the largest automatic text that you can get on the screen with an H1 tag. Now, you could keep going with this, like we could do an H2 tag. So my opening tag, right? And I'll put my closing tag slash then H2. All right, and in between the two tags, I'm going to say this is slightly smaller text. All right, so H1 opening tag, closing tag. In between the tags, I put my content, and notice here, a little bit smaller. We can do that again. We can do an H3 tag. This is even smaller text. Then I'll close it this time, H3. Oh my gosh. So opening tag, closing tag. Remember the closing has a slash right there. I run it. You see how it keeps getting a little bit smaller each time. Now you could do this down to H6, but I think you get the point. H1's the biggest, and it gets smaller each time you add a different number in back of it. Now, the next one is called a paragraph tag. This is a P tag. So it's a P and then a closing P. And what we have here is just like totally unstyled, like 12 font text, regular going on. All right, so this is unstyled regular text. What you'd put here, you'd say like, this is just boring regular text. All right, and if I press run, see, boring regular text. And so H1s are header tags, P, unstyled regular text. So you could, like, if you were writing an essay, you'd say H1, check out my essay about whatever, and then your paragraphs would be in a P tag, paragraph tag. So this is fun and great, but websites probably have a little bit more than just like text on it. Some even have, I don't know, links or images. Let's do image first. So yeah, let's add an image now. So an image is actually a self-closing tag. So what you do is you actually just say this, img, and then you self-close it like that. Now each image needs a source. Like what image file am I referencing here? So to actually add the image you want, you do src equals, and then in quotes. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna get like a picture from the internet. So I don't know, I'm gonna look up let's look for a cat. I love cats. Let's get a cat. I'm gonna find an image of a cat. Oh, that is a beautiful cat. That's a great looking cat. All right, so let me just grab this. And what you're going to do is type, you are going to right click, or you're going to press Control and click. That's how it works at our school. And you do this thing where it says copy image address. That is a link to where that like actual file is hosted. So remember, I'm going to do that again. Control, copy image address. And you're going to take that and you're going to just put it between these quotes. Now remember, I just want to show you, it's image, src equals, and in between the quotes, we're going to put this link. And check it out. We got a cat. Oh, that's too big. We'll learn how to make images smaller as time goes on, but that's how you get a giant cat. You could pop out your previews here if you want to see the full web page like that. Not sure if you saw that little square right there. In time it'll load, I promise. And then we got an image. So we got some text, we got boring text, and we got a nice image over here. Last thing I wanted to show you today is how to do a link. A link is done as follows. We use an A tag. So we say A, okay, remember we close this tag. And basically we got to put two things. The first thing is a link to, like, where is it going to go? I'm going to put a link to REPL, just because that's what we're using today. So I'll say this, click here to go to REPL, okay? That's what the user's going to see. So if I were to go here, okay. So you see I got a text. You see at the very bottom, let me run this again. Let's see here. Did you pop up? Okay, well, it'll pop up over here. If you look over here, you see where it says click here to go to REPL. It's kind of there. I wish you could see it better. It's so hard with that giant cat. But it says it here. Here's our link, right? What we want to do is make this clickable. So right now it doesn't click to go to any site. So what we're going to have to do is add this href. This goes in right next to this A. So you see here, in between the two A tags, you say like, what do you want the link to say? Right next to this A, I'm going to add this thing called href equals, and then in quotes is where I'm going to put the link. So very simply, I'll just do repl.it, whatever, grab that, and let's put that right here. So that will link it here. Okay, and so check this out. And you know what? Let me just add this above the cat so we can actually see it. So I'm going to put the link first and then the cat. So let's run it. And you see here where it says click to go to REPL. If I click this now, well, it'll work. Just give me a second. Okay, hold on. Oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. Okay, how about now? Beautiful. You want to respond? How about if I do this? Oh, there it is. It was there the whole time. If you click this, click here to go to REPL, that will take you to the REPL website. All right. So you've learned the basics, right? We learned about header tags, paragraph tags, anchor tags, that's the A tag that create links, and then the image tags that makes images. All right, so that's it. You know HTML now. It's done. There's actually not that many more tags that people use. You have a pretty good working knowledge of HTML. Now we're going to use this to make something a little bit cooler than this boring old website. So great job, and let's move on to our next lesson. Bye. Peace. See ya.